about a foot this way, foot that way. That's what it's looking like in total. It's a big hole, but again, I'm gonna add metal and material. It's gonna close it up a little bit. So we got this curve right here. So to eliminate that, we're gonna mark the line right there. You can see it just so I can do that. And then I'm probably gonna have to build in, but I want it to be square because everything I cut all wrong. So squared up with that. Same thing on this other side, we gotta mark the floor. And then after that, I'll start building templates. I'm probably gonna have to cut that out of the way. But yeah, we're gonna go from there. This is what it's looking like so far. Got that clearance right there on the valve cover. So I know it looks kind of funny right now, but we still got these side pieces that we need to fill in right here. And then we're gonna go in at an angle right here as close as we can without touching the manifold. Same thing on the other side. Looks on the inside. Like, gotta get to cutting, not really recording too much of that because it's kind of boring. So, little update. All right, let's get it. Also did the top. I did the top for mock-up purposes. Again, we're gonna have pieces going in at an angle, so it's not gonna really realistically be this wide. It's gonna get trimmed down. We also added this. My dad took it to work. He put this bend in it. I think I had a video where it was coming straight over here, and then he put it in a bender and bended it this way so that it could be straight up instead of back and give me more room in the cab as well as forward. That's something that we did right now, and I'm kind of liking the way it looks right now, so I can't wait to see it finished. I think it's gonna come out really good. Still have to worry about this back piece, filling that up, but it's been a long day. I'm working 7 days a week right now. So just trying to get it when I can. I know I've been slacking on the build, but we're getting it. So just staying tuned, and yeah, we'll get it welded in soon. All right, so we cut this one, trimmed it up. I didn't film too much of it because it's kind of boring. But I think that's our final piece that's gonna fit real good on this left side of that firewall. We had to tack it in place. It's kind of like a weird fitment, so I had to like push stuff in there to make it fit. So I had to tack it in there to get it just right. For some reason it was giving me a couple issues. That side's good. That side's good to go, but we wanted to get this side to fit up first. So that's what it is, and let's see if it works. Let's fit it in. Alright guys, so this is the final piece that I'm gonna weld in. So I had already welded it in with that piece right there, but when I welded it in, I forced it into place, so it causes it to have like a warp in it. You know, my dad told me in the first place, like, hey, it needs to go over or else it's gonna look like twisted. And I was being stubborn, didn't listen, ended up welding it in, came out of the truck, looked at it, it looked all messed up. So today, fixing the problem. Now it's gonna be straight, just gotta weld it in. It's 2025. I probably did all this work back in 22, 23. I just want to explain the reason why I made the firewall so deep in the cab. One, so I could pull the motor out a lot easier. I have a lot more clearance because the valve covers, I mean, the angle you have to take it out at is pretty vertical, as well as it'll make it easier if I have that. This is transmission and motor combined, as well as when I stab the motor in, it's a lot easier. Obviously, the more space, the easier. As well as you know, I could have made it a lot tighter, like the firewall more closer to the motor, but at the time I was thinking that was the best solution, and I still think it looks good. I have some thoughts on like how I could fill up that space. One would be to put like my wiring harness in there, and then make like a panel that would bolt on, kind of like covering up the look of the harness, and it would be closer to the motor, giving it a kind of a tighter look. But then there's also a reason for that space, utilize it, not waste anything, not have to rework everything. So yeah. And lastly, just a huge shout out to my dad. He fit up a lot of this stuff, came up with a lot of the ideas for the panels, and then just helped me out tremendously at that time with everything. So appreciate it, guys.